100 is way is the type of guy who tell you there's no first place, but he's part of a race.
Many years ago I did a party called Offline in the Park, which had a really great turnout. I was really happy for that, I must admit, for everyone who came along. Rosita was there. I hope she comes in tonight, she's off. And lots of good people turned up. And the hardest part about that event actually was me just taking a chance, not discussing it with anybody like usual, just said, right, I'm going to do a party in the park. Let me give it maybe 6 weeks. It was really cold as well, but I said to myself, it's going to be hot on this day. It turned out to be the hottest day of the year so far, on the day. So I just put on Facebook, right, bring what you want to see. Amy turned up, by the way, Amy Ramirez, she's brilliant. She brought flowers, she brought stuff to give away as well. And it was just an amazing turnout. Everyone came, they played, they even brought Twister. Someone brought Space Hopper, and they brought some of the best attitude you could imagine. And the toughest part of that, for me, the most anxious part, was when I turned up at the park. I printed out these leaflets, these little logos for people to hold up so we could take photos. I spelled offline in the Facebook font and using Facebook colours, you know, the blue and background with the white. And I said, right, it starts at 1 o'clock. So 12:15, I'm on my way. I walked to the park and I sat there and I waited. And I thought, what if no one shows up? What if, you know, like, it's just an idea of mine. And on Facebook or anywhere really, when you plan something, people just type in, yeah, I'll be there, it's going to be good, blah, blah, blah. And, you know, if you ask 100 people, only 5 are going to turn up. I asked maybe about 500 people, I guess, in total, and maybe they told some of their friends. But the turnout was massive. It was such a good day. And there's 12:15. I walked to the park. I've got my paper in my hand. I had a box for some reason. I forget what that was for, but I sat on it and I just waited and waited, and no one was turning up. And it was 12:30, and it was 12:35. I thought, that's 1 o'clock. People will be at 1 o'clock exactly, or they'll be late. And Emma Nicholson turned up with her new boyfriend, Pablo, an amazing guy as well. And they'd been out the night before. They hadn't even been to sleep yet. It was, you know, they'd been out all Saturday night. Then they turned up, and I was so pleased to see them, because Emma's an amazing woman. She organises these amazing parties, which I only went to one of them. It was one of the best parties I've ever been to, and I met some wonderful people. And so I sat talking with them, and then suddenly someone else turned up, and someone else turned up, and people I didn't even expect, or people I talked to on Facebook and hadn't actually met in person turned up. I just mentioned you, Amy, talking about Offline in the Park, when you turned up and you gave flowers away, and you just created a beautiful atmosphere. And I'll go back again. I was talking about how anxious I was, and just organising this event called Offline in the Park. I was going to do it nationally, and I thought that's going to take too much effort to pull off, and wonder if other people will do it if they don't know me. So I thought I'd do it just locally. So I said to everyone, just 6 weeks in advance, I'm doing a party in the park, Offline in the Park. You know, I wanted it to be a no social media day, but I thought people want to film this, they're going to use their phones anyway, and I feel bad, or like I failed maybe. So I said, okay, it's just a day to come off your computers, you know, and not use computers. Come to the park. It starts at 1 o'clock, so I turned up on my own. I sat there just waiting, thinking, is anyone going to actually show up? And as I just said, Emma Nicholson and her boyfriend turned up, Pablo first. And then people started coming in, and it just got more colourful, and it got brighter. People who didn't even know me turned up, and I just thought, wow, we've pulled it off. We've pulled it off. And to this day, I don't really count it as my event. Oh, look what I did. Part of me does on the inner level. It's like, okay, I pulled something off. It's a pat on the back for me, that's all. But it was more about, hello, Samuel, Debbie and Gaz. It was more about the fact that people had faith in me and in themselves to turn up to an event where I said there's going to be no music, you know, don't bring any music. We didn't want a conflict of music. I don't want people over there playing reggae, then rap, and then playing techno and psytrance over there. So bring what you want to see. Let's make this a day out for all of us. And everybody turned up, and everybody made it a fantastic day. And hello, French. Hello, Debbie. And Debbie, Debbie Miller, Debbie Shears. So, I'm thinking about organising another day like this at some point, another offline in the park, offline too. My friend borrowed the name and had an event. I don't know if it went as well, or maybe it went well for him because it was, quite localised with his friends. He asked to use a name. But I was talking about turning it into some sort of franchise, not about money making, but offline in the park, and picking one day every year in the UK where everyone just goes to the park and, they keep the same ideology alive. You don't bring no music, you don't want to disturb other people in the park, you don't want to cause factions to separate for the types of music they like or not. It's about bringing your human energy and just coming and meeting people, new people. And to be honest, on the day I nearly cried. I was so choked up because my sisters turned up with their children as well, and my sister said to me, wow, I didn't know you had so many friends. And the beauty of that for me was, more than anything, I looked when she said it, and I looked around and I was so choked up because I thought to myself, I measure myself by the friends that I have. And what I realised on the day was I've got friends who are 15 years old. I was like 47 maybe or something. 50, something like that. I've got friends who are 15 years old. I've got friends who are 35, friends who are 50, friends who are 60 years old. I've got hippie friends, I've got rastas, there's punks, there's goths, there's psytrancers. No exaggeration, there was one of every kind. There was the honest and innocent, sweet people. There were the bad boys, and it was just an amazing collection of people who came. And it was testament to the fact that social media works, but also, I've got to say, for me, it was testament to the fact that throughout life I've managed to meet and become friends with a hell of a lot of people. And I have to talk about me for a moment, because that's my experience. But I wish that for everybody, and I want that for everybody.
OBG.